misfortunate. Now I'm working just to pay the debt. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright now. You never know until you're offered it, but everybody's got a price, I guess. It's even lower than you think it is. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright now. I know, and you know, everybody goes when the lights go. What do you kids wanna know about now? I made enough to make a young gun proud. Money and fame bring a man shame, ain't no doubt about it. What do you kids wanna know about now? I found the bottom from the top somehow. Money and fame bring a man shame, ain't no doubt about it. What do you kids wanna know about now? I've seen the devil in the bright lights now. Money and fame bring a man shame, ain't no doubt about it. Ain't no doubt about it. What do you kids wanna know about now? I found the bottom from the top somehow. Money and fame bring a man shame, ain't no doubt about it. Baby, let's stay home tonight. We can put a couple records on. We can build a fire, alright. Maybe we can dance till dawn. Everything will be just fine. Don't even have to put clothes.
Yeah, they like the way I do this. When I crank it like a chainsaw. Yeah, they like the way I do this. When I crank it like a chainsaw. Full throttle, heavy metal, set the bar, next level. Wasteland, getting all janky, so glow. Chainsaw. Let it go with them elbows back, into smoking just like this track. Shirt is soaking from all this sweat, catch my breath. Chainsaw. Now hear me roar, I'm an apex predator. From the sycamores, let's get Skeletor. Chainsaw, chainsaw. Watch it learn, watch it learn. Get that thing cranking, yeah, slash, slash, burn. Bow to the knees, yeah, crank it like a chainsaw. Bow to the knees, yeah, crank it like a chainsaw. Crank it, crank it, crank it, back, crank it, back, back. Bow to the knees, yeah, crank it like a chainsaw. Bow to the knees, yeah, crank it like a chainsaw. Crank it, crank it, crank it, back, back, crank it, back, back.
Crank it like a chain, crank it like a
Chainsaw.
crank it like a chain, crank it like a crank it like a chain, crank it like a
Chainsaw.
crank it like a chainsaw, chainsaw.
Fresh flannel shirt, country bumpkin, lumberjack moves, aka Paul Bunyan. Run, yan, 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 yan. I make it right, I make it right, I make it run, run.
Chainsaw.
Drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it
Down low, low.
Chop it, chop, chop it, chop. Here we go, go. Teeth so sharp that they call them the jaws. I'm your boss, baby, crack it like a chainsaw.
Bow to the knees, yeah, crank it like a chainsaw. Bow to the knees, yeah, crank it like a chainsaw. Crank it, crank it, crank it, back, crank it, back, back. Bow to the knees, yeah, crank it like a chainsaw. Bow to the knees, yeah, crank it like a chainsaw. Crank it, back, back, crank it, back, back.
Came down, head hunter, cyberpunk, yeah, I'm a blade runner, turned up, automatic, full tank, you ain't gotta think about it.
Chainsaw.
Chainsaw, yank it, crank it, swing it, then you put it inside whatever you buy. Turn it all the way up and then you bang it. Top the block, no kintsu. Wilderness, but I'm chivalrous. From Texas, but no massacre. Unless it's a beat, we killing it. Chopping down trees, N2C, watch some things fall. Bows to my knees, that mean I crank it like a chainsaw. Do it to these trees, I'll see these flames, y'all. Burn them up to burn them down, now let me see you.
Chainsaw. Bow to the knees, yeah, crank it like a chainsaw. Bow to the knees, yeah, crank it like a chainsaw. Crank it, back, crank it, back, back. Bow to the knees, yeah, crank it like a chainsaw. Bow to the knees, yeah, crank it like a chainsaw. Crank it, back, back, crank it.
Like a chain, crank it like a
Chainsaw.
crank it like a chain, crank it like a crank it like a chain.
chainsaw.
Crank it like a chainsaw. Chainsaw. Crank it like a chain. Crank it like a
Chainsaw.
crank it like a chain. Crank it like a crank it like a chain. Crank it like a
Chainsaw.
crank it like a chainsaw. Chainsaw.
I will show you crazy. I'm a maniac. No more final warning. I'm not holding back. I ain't going nowhere. Let the roof cave in. About to blow up something. Here goes nothing. Watch me hit the cray button. Cray. Bass, you love it so much. Get out of your head, get out of your skull. If you ain't getting cray, then you ain't got a pulse. A lunatic in town, Bob just got dropped. I get cray all day, it's my full-time job. Wild like a wolf pack, howling at the moon. Attack, attack, you've been bitten by the boom. I ain't going nowhere. Let the roof cave in. About to blow up something. Here goes nothing. Watch me hit the cray button. Cray. 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 Put your vibes in the sky if you feeling alive. Throw chin up in the air, 'cause you don't care. Cray bands on, rock your cranium. 3, 2, 1, detonation. I wonder what happens if I hit the cray button. I guarantee the whole place starts jumping. I wonder what happens if I hit the cray button. I guarantee the whole place starts jumping. I wonder what happens if I hit the cray button. I guarantee the whole place starts jumping. I wonder what happens if I hit the cray button. I'ma do it.
Wait, hold on, let me do my thing. Hit the crazy button, I was like, you rang. Came in the party with a couple of frames. Had a 116, yeah, we so the shame. Everybody get cray like me. I'm so cray, it's on my ID. Everybody serious looking for deep material. Chillin', turn up the stereo and dance like me. And please don't wreck the party. Here to have fun, 'cause the week was hard. And go nuts, turn up, insane. You ain't seen nothing, we about to go cray. If it gets wild, I'ma jump in the crowd and show the whole front row that I know how to fly. You think we on 10? Boy, you ain't seen nothing. 3, 2, 1, cray button.
Hit the cray button. Hit the cray button. I pledge allegiance to the U.S. cray. U.S. cray. U.S. cray. I pledge allegiance to the U.S. cray. U.S. cray. U.S. cray. Give me that God Almighty, that God, oh, God, for that old school doctrine. Give me that truth for the body, ain't nothing new about it, but it's still full of power. The church clap, let me hear the church clap. Church clap, let me hear the church clap. Church clap, let me hear the church clap. Church clap, let me hear the church clap.
Give me that church mother in they church hat clap. Man, that sugar every color purple coming back clap. When that whole week beat you up and stress you, but you hear that organ playing and remind you of your blessings. And on another note, she just hit another note. Chills down my spine, got me crying, make me overload. You don't know about it though. Old school church hymns, deacons get the humming, now the drummer finna burst in. Lordy, Lordy, of his daughters to glorify him with honor. Man, I swear Thomas Jones with her head did. Now it's flying everywhere, she don't care what her head did. She an egg, yeah, caught up in the egg, yeah. Probably why she clapping like jeans, she's just real bad, yeah.
Give me that God Almighty, that good old Bible, that old school doctrine. Give me that truth for the body, ain't nothing new about it, but it's still full of power.
Church clap, let me hear the church clap. Church clap, let me hear the church clap. Church clap, let me hear the church clap. Church clap, let me hear the church clap.
I wanna be the type of dude that get the Lord on his feet. I wanna do the type of shows that the Lord wanna see. What I mean, if I can make the whole church clap, it ain't a clap in the heavens, then that clap just a clap, clap for his son glorified, sin mortified. The Holy Spirit going word that truth ain't watered down. It's sound doctrine, keep spurting and coming out. Nothing wrong with singing loud, but that ain't where the power's time. The church has been clapping at weak sermons, leaving the weak hurt. No one's changed by Sunday service. We need discernment, check what you be affirming, cause the church can be full of members but empty in conversion. Preach the gospel and stand back, look for change lives, not for hand claps. Love people well, oh they can't stand at the church, just the church with the words where we stand up.
Give me that God Almighty, that good old Bible, that old school doctrine. Give me that truth for the body, ain't nothing new about it, but it's still full of power.
Church clap, let me hear the church clap. 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 Come on.
Yeah, yeah, can't tell me nothing. The devil can't tell me nothing. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Look, I know who I am, so they can't tell me nothing. The devil can't tell me nothing. The haters can't tell me nothing. I know who I am, so they can't tell me nothing. The haters can't tell me nothing. The devil can't tell me nothing. I know who I am, so they can't tell me nothing. The devil can't tell me nothing. The haters can't tell me nothing. I know who I am, so the devil can't tell me nothing. The devil can't tell me.
Welcome to QC Live. I'm Daniel, and this is my co-host CJ.
What's up?
CJ, how you doing today?
Good. How are you, Danny?
Oh, you doing just well. How is self-quarantine treating you?
Pretty good. I'm actually busy, working a lot of hours, so
Yeah, me too. Essential life.
yeah, it's
Yep.
rough.
Sorry about that long video. We were just getting things ready for y'all so we can have the best video possible for today. So, what's on the agenda for today? Do you know, CJ?
I know there's a movie
There's a movie.
that we're gonna talk about.
Yeah, but what do we do every single day, first thing? Or Wednesday, first thing?
Play a game. No, we give stuff away.
We give stuff
We
away.
give
Free
stuff away.
Stuff away, and I'm excited for today's gift. Was promised. What was promised that we didn't do?
Puzzle, I think, wasn't it?
Puzzle.
A puzzle.
But instead of a puzzle, we're just gonna give another 1 second. Nick, you have to move that screen back into view.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
The main screen, the window shoot, has to be visible.
We're frozen.
Yeah, us. We're just frozen.
You can
Remember how
hear
it
us,
can't be
but we're
behind
not
screens or
moving.
minimized? It has to be full screen.
Shoot.
All right, hold up. We have technical difficulties.
You can hear me, and you have no idea the faces I'm making at
In
you
the
right
live
now.
shoot video, wherever this was.
I was
I
trying
must
to
say
find
that guy
the-
over there in the red. Not too
spinning
bad
thing.
looking, if I
It was gone.
don't
It's over. It's spinning thing.
mind saying so myself. Anyways, we are working through some technical
the live shoot
difficulties. And so now you just get to hear the soothing sounds of my voice. Oh, wow. What happened to Danny? He was there the whole time and now he's gone. What happened? Oh, right.
All right, sorry about the technical difficulties. Things happen when we do live stuff. Anyways, we're about to play a Pick Me live game. Okay? It's going to be on the screen right over here. So Nick, go ahead and get that situated for us. So again, last week we gave away $10 gift card to Taco Bell.
Yes.
This week we're also giving a $10 gift card away for Taco Bell because I have
Sweet.
2 of those just lying around for whatever reason.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Anyways.
I would have used them.
Yeah, but I use them with youth ministry money, so that's called stealing.
Yeah. Well.
Giving them away wouldn't be stealing.
That's good.
About to roll the dice.
Ready?
Yep, go
gonna
roll.
roll.
Some of my people are in here, some of CJ's people in here. How do you get part of it, CJ, while we're waiting?
You share the live feed. You comment, participate in the chat, and is that it?
Do any silly task we
Any
ask
task
you.
we do, and send it to us.
And this week we had several people getting put in, and we're going to watch who gets added. Allison!
Allison Holbrook, if you
Allison-
were watching,
Congratulations.
you know what's crazy?
Did she
Now their whole family can eat because Andrew won the week before.
really?
So they both, people, brother and sister,
What a lucky
won
family.
the Taco Bell.
$20 worth of Taco Bell.
If your father's watching, maybe it's time to play the lottery. I don't know. No, I'm joking.
Do not play lotteries, guys and girls.
I was joking.
TJ was absolutely
It's a
joking.
bad joke.
Lotteries are bad. Okay.
Congratulations, Allison.
Thank you all for joining us. We appreciate all the views and all the likes and all the participations. Question, CJ.
Yes.
As a youth leader, how has it been kind of not doing Wednesday like normal?
It's actually been kind of hard, I think. I'm used to being there and seeing them, and to me, I found it a little bit more difficult because you don't get to, interact with them and actually make that connection and see how they're doing. I miss them all, even though this week I told some of them I actually miss them annoying me. They've some of them taken up that challenge and to try to annoy me virtually. But what it did is it ended up just getting me a lot of more likes and comments on Facebook. So thank you so much.
Well, good job, trolls.
Yep.
Yeah, I would agree. Like, it's been kind of difficult to just be out of the group. And this is, we ask you to participate, not because we want to fill our egos, but because we want to hear from you. It's one of those things that, like, playing games with you guys was a lot of fun. I think last week was one of my favorite weeks because we kind of found that rhythm of playing games with you instead of just making you laugh or do whatever, is that we try to play games with you guys and make you give you the opportunity for you to participate. And a lot of you use that opportunity, and we really enjoy that and having you join us in those games. So we're going to keep up that theme, that rhythm of playing games. So we have 2 games kind of set, and you guys can participate in those games, and we are excited for you to participate in those games. So I chose these games, and I know what these games are themed.
I'm gonna think. I'm guessing that it's on the topic of the movie somewhat. National
American
Treasure.
history.
American history, because it was
American
the
history.
Constitution, right?
Yep. It's
Okay.
not founding fathers history, which is more of the movie, but just the history of America. Bill Gates
Oh,
learned
man.
a lot of.
I'm gonna embarrass myself.
Not Bill Gates. Nicolas Cage learned a lot of
Yeah.
fun facts. So we're gonna see how much fun facts we know this week and games. And then what are we gonna do after those 2 games?
I don't know.
Talk about the movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
talk about the movie.
Talk about the movie.
I didn't know if there was something else in between there.
No,
I didn't know
it's-
if I was gonna have to eat something disgusting or drink, some version of milk or something again.
We can always fit something in.
No, I'm good. I'm
Yeah,
good.
we have-
Let's
we
just
have a
talk about the
kitchen.
movie.
I have chocolate syrup back there. Some, your favorite maple syrup.
Yeah.
I
oh,
have
that was awful.
soda. I have
still-
Monster. I have
No.
body armor.
It was the hot sauce and milk that did it for me. The hot chocolate and hot
That's
sauce.
because you like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was good. The syrup was too much.
Syrup? We
disgusting.
can always add syrup.
No.
Okay.
Anyways,
He's not a fan of Canada. That's why.
the maple.
Maple syrup. How dare you? All right, so we're about to take a quick break just so we can set up the game and make sure that everything's working right for the game. So stick with us, and we will be playing a game in just about a minute. But you're going to hear from CJ and his awesome advertisement. So see you all in just a little bit.
What's up, guys? Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back. But I wanted to take this opportunity to reach out to you guys and just say that
I'm glad you've been watching. Continue to do so. Share this video with your friends. At this time, I want to invite you guys to continue watching. On Sunday nights, we do a live stream from our Facebook page, which is Echo Youth Group. You can watch us there Sunday nights at 7 o'clock. Just give you guys a thought for the day, really, a Bible verse and stuff to think about, and a challenge maybe for you during quarantine. And then also on the Facebook page, we're constantly giving you guys tasks to do while you're on quarantine, to just do some fun things to try to keep you busy while you're stuck in the house. The other thing is, on Wednesday nights, me and Danny are always here at 6 o'clock streaming on YouTube and to our Facebook pages and stuff like that, so keep checking that out. Check us out on Instagram, which is echo_11_1, which is for the Bible verse, 1 Corinthians 11:1. Imitate me as I imitate Christ. When we're not doing this whole quarantine thing, we try to get together on Sunday night and Wednesday nights. Sunday nights we meet at East Lake Baptist Church on 30 in Crown Point, right past Albany's. And there we just we get together, we have a good time, we have snacks, and we look at the Bible and see how we can try to be more Christ-like and how we can imitate the life of Christ. And same thing on Wednesday night, we get together for Bible study and we dig in a little bit deeper to see what God's Word has for us. We hang out, we have a good time, and we get to know each other, and we go try to get through this crazy. What's up, guys? Don't go anywhere, we're going to be right back. But I wanted to take this opportunity to reach out to you guys and just say that I'm glad you've been watching. Continue to do so. Share this video with your friends. At this time, I want to invite you guys to continue watching. On Sunday nights, we do a live stream from our Facebook page, which is Echo Youth Group. You can watch us there Sunday nights at 7 o'clock. Just give you guys a thought for the day, really.
Welcome back. Woo! Sorry if that repeated for a little longer than we wanted to. It's hard to judge that when you can't hear anything.
I like the sound of my voice.
And you do like the sound of your voice. Anyways, we do appreciate all of you joining us and hanging out with us. We're going to play a game called U.S. History. How much do you know about U.S. history? You excited for this game, TJ?
I am, but I'm also a little nervous because I feel like I'm going to embarrass myself.
Yep. I like to think myself as a U.S. history buff, so...
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm going to be that. I like history and I like fun facts, and I love our country.
Yeah, so let's see how much we know. Let's see if I can make a fool of myself and CJ can prove that he's smarter than he looks. What?
Wait, what?
Oh.
Really?
You look really smart, CJ.
I
You're
don't.
the smartest person I know.
Yeah, right.
Okay, Nick
Salt
is.
my intelligence.
All right, ready, Nick? Turn title graphic off. There you go.
All right, we've got a question here.
Go ahead and read the question.
The question is, which country sponsored the voyage of Christopher Columbus to the Americas in 1492? Was it 1, England, 2, Portugal, 3, Spain, or 4, Djibouti?
Oh, that's hard to think. Can you get that thing back up so we can read it?
Yeah.
Portugal, Spain. I think it's Spain.
Yeah, for some reason my gut wants to say England, but I do think it's Spain.
Spain sounds right. I don't know why it sounds so right. It just does.
I don't know. Again, embarrassed already because I feel like this should be easy,
It wasn't England.
right? Like, I think I remember learning about this in 7th, 8th grade.
But I'm going with number 3, Spain. What are you going with?
I'm going to go with England. I'm going to go with England. Just because I'm a fool. Everyone else is saying Spain, so I'm wrong. I'm completely wrong.
The answer is Spain.
Spain.
Yep, number
I'm
3.
a fool.
Should have just gone with the crowd.
I should have just jumped on that bandwagon.
But if you would have been right, you'd have been so much better about yourself.
Oh, yeah, because everyone else would have been wrong. See, that's why I'm That's what I'm doing. I'm gonna pick opposite
Yeah.
of everybody else.
I had a lot of people go Spain, 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 Spain.
Everybody said Spain. Absolutely everybody.
I stink at history, so that's awesome.
All right. Next one here is who wrote the lyrics to the Star Spangled Banner?
Oh, I know this one.
Was that 1, Francis Scott Key? Number 2, John Stafford Smith? Number 3, the first American president, George Washington? Number 4, Lin-Manuel Miranda? Thoughts?
George Washington, because he's the first president and the first person to write a national anthem.
Here,
No,
why-
I'm
here's why-
joking.
no,
I'm
you
joking.
already,
I
you already
know.
got it.
I know.
Here's
No,
why you're
I'm
wrong
not-
with that answer. It was our song was written to make fun of us.
Okay.
It was a bar song, and I'm pretty sure about that. And just like early Christians, we took it as against ours. So I'm gonna go with the most British sounding name here, Francis Scott Key.
Yes, of course, Francis Scott Key.
And the answer is Francis Scott Key.
Yes.
Good job, guys. Way to know your history.
That one's I should have. I'm still killing myself over mine.
Most British one.
All right. The next question is whose large signature is the most famous on the Declaration of Independence? Is it 1, Thomas Jefferson, 2, John Adams, 3, Benjamin Franklin, or 4, John Hancock?
What do you think, CJ? I always say, what do you think when I know the answer?
Really? I'm waiting for everybody in here to get. I want to say right off the bat, I want to say John Hancock because that's what people say when they say they want their signature.
John Hancock?
Is John Hancock. Yeah.
You can picture John Hancock there.
Yeah.
What is the crowd saying? I got some John Hancock, some John Hancock, some John Hancocks. I also agree with John Hancock. I actually
Everybody
learned that.
said John Hancock.
I learned that from a movie called Hancock
Oh.
with Will Smith being a superhero, and that's why his name is John Hancock.
Before that, you wouldn't have known it?
I don't know if I just know that that's the part of the movie I kind of remember.
Huh.
I thought that was really cool. So I'm not quite sure if that's where I first learned it or if I absolutely learned it from, but that's how I know it. What's the answer, Nick?
Well, you are all very smart. It is for John Hancock.
Yeah, everyone knew that.
Yep,
Good job,
yep,
everyone.
There we go. There we go. All right.
We know our history.
The next question.
I said I'm getting yelled at.
From which country did the United States acquire land in the Louisiana
I know this one. I'm from there.
Purchase? Number 1, France. Number 2, Mexico. Number 3, Texas. Number 4, England.
Before we go, what do you mean you're from there?
I'm from Louisiana.
Okay. So I thought you meant you're from the place that sold us the Louisiana Purchase.
No.
So I was like, what do you mean you're from? Like, you're from England? You're from Texas? You're from Mexico? You're from France? Where are you from?
Louisiana.
Louisiana. That makes
Louisiana.
sense. All right, but what do you think it is?
France.
France? I also agree with you, France. Because the French give us stuff. My people are saying French. I got 2 French. Oh,
Okay.
French.
I got 2 Frenches.
Yeah, and fun fact, Louisiana is known for their French fries because they were bought by French. That's a lie. I made that up 2 seconds ago.
It's pronounced Louisiana. Like Louis from France.
Yeah.
You were correct. Good job, guys.
Wasn't it Ponce de Leon too, who was the first person to discover it? I think.
I think so.
Yeah. See? I know my Louisiana history.
I have a fun fact in my chat. Louisiana Purchase was bought from Napoleon.
From Napoleon.
Napoleon. I don't know how accurate that is, but I have a student saying that right now. So I'm gonna trust them because they're in U.S. history. I don't care about French history.
All right. Next
French.
question. In which war were the most American lives lost? Number 1, the Civil War. Number 2, World War I. Number 3, World War II. Or 4, the Vietnam War.
Percentage-wise, Civil War has the most percentage of Americans killed versus everyone else because it's 100% Americans who died in the Civil War. On the other hand, I think World War II actually outnumbered both the wars, but I could totally see World War I having more deaths.
So you're saying 2?
I think I'm saying 2. Was my group saying the Civil War? The Civil War. Oh, I don't like this now. Too many people are saying Civil War. I don't think we had that many. I don't think we have as many deaths from World War One in the Civil War. But we definitely have the most percentage die.
There was a lot in Nam too, but I still think it's Civil War. But to me, I don't think the Civil War counts as all American lives because it was a divided country. It wasn't.
But there were Americans dying. No, it's.
So then it's a trick question.
The answer is the Civil War. Yeah, there was like single battles that lost more than the Vietnam War altogether.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So the Civil War, though, like I said, I don't know. That's a trick question.
Yeah, I got a lot of Civil Wars.
I think they got better at casualties as they went on. You know, they didn't.
Yeah, people weren't dying from losing a leg.
You're right.
In World War II or Vietnam, maybe as much as
right.
in the Civil
Exactly.
War. I had all Civil Wars except my son, which is sad because he loves history. He said World War II.
I would have guessed World War II, but
he did say it could be the Civil War or World War II.
Yeah,
I wonder what the World War II numbers are, though.
I was like, I thought it could be the Civil War. So definitely percentage-wise, we lost more Americans. But I'm not quite sure if it was like just that.
All right. The next question is, on which date did Japan attack Pearl Harbor? 1. July 4th, 1776. Number 2. December 7th, 1941. Number 3. June 6th, 1944. Or number 4. November 22, 1963.
Okay, so the 70s and the 60s, I'm kind of highly guessing. I'm joking. They're totally wrong. At least put them in the same World War II era.
Right.
Right, so...
Number 2.
I know the answer. Oh, I was going to say that. Number 2. But...
Sorry.
I watched... have you watched Midway yet?
No.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
So you ever watch Pearl Harbor?
Yes, I watched Pearl
So do you
Harbor.
know the like after Pearl Harbor attack, they bombed Japan in the movie?
Yeah.
They showed like a glimpse of that thing in Midway. Like they showed that the pilot's taking off. They made fun of like the bombers going, right? And it was just like it was just really interesting because like there was bombers on aircraft carriers, which was unheard of.
Yeah.
So that's why they were making fun of it, not because like well they were making fun of the fact that it was Army on top of Navy boats, but
yeah,
it was one of those crazy things. Nick, what's the answer?
You were right.
December
it
7th.
was December 7th.
Oh, Christopher, you are
1941.
failing me hardcore, son.
Please tell me somebody didn't choose 1963 or
No.
1776.
June 6th.
Okay, all right.
June
June 6th
Yeah.
is reasonable, but it's a year before the war ended, and it's like no, we fought them for like the longest.
To be fair to my son, maybe the quarantine has affected this part of his history class.
Well, yeah, we'll say that. We'll say that. Too many video games on the brain right now.
Right now, yeah.
Who was the first American to travel into space? Now this isn't the moon.
Yeah.
This is to space.
Why would you say that? That's
Yeah, I know.
I'm just clarifying.
okay. Go.
This is
I know
into
this
space.
one. I think I know this
Number
Buzz
one,
Yes.
John Glenn. Number 2, Neil Armstrong. Number 3, Alan Shepard. Number 4, Mr. Buzz Lightyear.
Oh, I should have said Tim Allen.
Buzz Lightyear seems legit.
To infinity
And beyond.
And beyond, yeah.
Yes,
That's
so
what he said in
I
his
think that
thing.
includes space.
And that's why he's meant. That's why he's a
So-
toy. He's a toy figure. I mean, the action figures. He was the first one.
Yes, but
Buzz Lightyear's based off a real person.
so, but Buzz is not from America, so it says first American.
Yeah, I think John Glenn. I'm gonna go with.
Let me see the questions again. Yeah, John Glenn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's either that
Neil
or
Armstrong
Alan
was the first one on
Shepard.
the moon, but
But I'm
John
pretty sure it's
Glenn was the
John
first
Glenn.
one. Yeah.
I got some John Glenn's on my thing. I have some number ones. 6,200 were killed in the World War. Someone's trying to answer the. World War
Everyone
II
in my
question.
group just apparently only wants Buzz Lightyear. To be-
I think that's a solid choice. I really do.
I really do. I think it's named after Buzz Lightyear. That's why he's named Buzz Lightyear, because that toy was named after him.
Yep. So I didn't hear a single answer for this, but it was Alan Shepard.
What?
I had no idea. I thought it was John Glenn.
Nobody actually. Oh wait, Abby got it right.
Oh,
Abby
there we
said
go.
Alan
Nobody got this
Shepard.
one right.
Very nice.
Alan
Everyone said
Shepard.
John Glenn. They all went with me.
Yeah,
Because they trusted me. That
well, everyone
I
said
brought them to
Buzz.
failure.
Everyone said Buzz Lightyear, and then one John Green, and then Abby is my solo. I'm sorry, Alan Shepard.
Wow.
I really do think a lot of people just went with a joke for this one, and they thought that was worth the -1. Answer a question, but there was a funny one that you really wanted to answer, so you answered
All
it
the
anyways
time.
to get the -1.
All the time.
I did too.
It
Can't
ended
put
up
fun-
being a lot of -1s in my case. Yeah.
All right, next.
All right. Next question is, which space shuttle exploded shortly after liftoff on January 28, 1986? Was it number 1, the Columbia shuttle? Number 2, the Challenger space shuttle? Number 3, the Discovery shuttle? Number 4, the Endeavour shuttle? I know the answer without
I think I know this one too, but I'm going back. Apparently, Haley Farr is extremely upset that it was not John Glenn. She thinks we are ripping her off.
Yeah, I think it's a Mandela effect.
Yeah. I believe it's the Challenger, number 2, but
I thought it was Challenger 2.
but Endeavor is really throwing me.
I have an
think it's
answer saying
Challenger.
it's 2, Discovery. And everyone's like, oh, that's kind of weird. You can't answer 2, Ryan.
I thought
you can't answer 2.
I thought Discovery was the one that just went to Mars. Like that shuttle that went to Mars with the the thing on it. I thought that was the Discovery.
I think that no, that's the Apollos.
Oh.
No, maybe it is Discovery. Apollo's with the moon. I thought you said moon, but you said Mars.
Mars.
That registered right after you said. I said.
That's why I think it feels like it's more relevant on people's mind because it's like one of the biggest ones that they've heard of lately.
I think it's Challenger.
I think it's Challenger.
Well, you were right.
All
Good
right.
job. Good job. And none of us were born or alive at that time, so.
I was. Shut up.
You
Shut
were?
Up, shut up very much.
Oh my, wow.
I was only 3, but I was born.
I was.
So now I'm as smart as Abby because Abby got it right too, and I got it right. So
You're a lot older than I thought you were.
let's not talk about it.
You're so young.
I'm young.
Nick, you no longer
I mean,
get
I
to
wasn't
find out.
born then. What?
No, it's 1960, 82? No, 86?
83. I was born in 83.
83.
All right. Next question is, which place officially became the 50th state on August 21st, 1959? Was it number 1, Alaska? Number 2, Washington, D.C.? Number 3, Puerto Rico? Or number 4, Hawaii?
Man.
Puerto Rico refuses to be a state. The buzzkills.
Well, they're not a state. They're a territory.
Yeah, they refuse to be a state. Because they're buzzkills.
I think they want to be a state.
No, they don't.
Yeah, I think they do. but I don't think we really.
They have all the same government as us.
It's like we gotta change the flag and all kinds of stuff, you know.
We don't want to design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's easy. It's technically easy to become a state. Like you just have to meet some requirements. I think they meet all the requirements. They just refuse to be a state because then they have to feed into our stuff. But they can still vote.
Why
in certain elections.
wouldn't you want to be a state?
Under the United States,
Yeah.
right?
Because the territory gets all the benefits, but none of the
Yeah, I guess that's true.
the hassles.
Yeah. No accountability.
I think it's number 4, but for some reason I want to say 1.
Why not Washington D.C.?
I'm pretty sure that Alaska was from Russia, and like I remember that being like, you know, really kind of almost like a hostile kind of thing, like when it was going on. I wasn't around in 1959, but
I wasn't either.
remember-
Just to be clear, I wasn't either.
But I remember reading about it. You know, kind of it wasn't you know, like a happy thing.
Well, they gave it to us, or they sold it to us for really cheap. Then we found oil on it, and they're like, "Oh, what? We didn't mean to sell it to you."
Yeah.
I think it's Alaska.
I'm thinking it's Hawaii personally. I'm pretty sure that was a bit.
So you think we built a military
Maybe a
base as
couple
soon as
years
we got
after.
there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because where it's at.
Yep.
I'm gonna go for Alaska. The worst part is Nick can see the answers, and I'm just wondering.
But
if
I'm not even looking. I'm guessing along with you guys. So I'm trying to.
I'm going with 1, even against all my youth who are saying 4. I hope I'm right.
Oh, hey, look at it! Look at that! Look at that! Look at that!
Hawaii.
So we buy Hawaii. He goes, okay, let's build a naval base here.
I think that was the whole reason too.
Yeah. Yep. It's very
But
nicely
we should
located.
buy Greenland today.
And then we're like, we'll give you a couple islands.
As soon
and
as
make
we
them
buy
really
Greenland,
nice.
we're gonna put a bunch of bases on it.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Build a wall first, but.
All right. Next question. How many amendments are in the United States Constitution? 1, 10, 2, 27, 3, 33, or 4, 50?
Do you know what it's not?
I know what it's not.
What do you think it's not, Nick?
I know it's not 10.
Yeah, because there's 13 amendments.
Yeah, there's
13th amendment is a pretty important one.
right. There's quite a few. I know that there's at least 25. I know for a fact that there's 25. So I don't know if there's like a lot more than that. I don't think it's 50. I really don't.
I think
Originally, I was
50 is kind of a
thinking
state thing.
33.
You're going to get it because it's 50 states. Haha, America.
Yeah,
I'm going 27.
I'm gonna go 27 too.
Someone goes 27, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7.
Everybody's
Repeat.
saying 27
2.
across the board.
2.27.
I just want to say I'm going with 27. I'm jumping on the crowd bandwagon, but originally I thought it was 33. Off the top of my head,
I
it was
said my
like
number
33.
4. Yeah.
You know,
As far
everybody
as I
else
know-
is saying 33. For some reason, as soon as I saw him, I was like 33.
peer pressure.
Yeah.
As far as I know, I saw this after I did my guess, so 27 was my original guess.
Oh, I'm jumping on the bandwagon completely because originally I
You
first
go
instinct was
33, just in
33.
case you're wrong.
Yeah, come on, go against
Come
the
on,
grain.
CJ, go
All right, let's
33.
do it. 33. I don't
Cool.
care.
33.
In y'all's faces. All right.
And
Oh well.
Nick liked it astray. I liked
yeah.
it astray. I just want that point.
No, he did not leave me astray. He kept me on my original path.
man, I'm really just
He
calling
didn't
you
let
out
me
today,
stray.
CJ.
Yeah.
Sorry about
He's
that.
like, come on, man, be a man.
Do it.
Then,
Do it.
Then I have to.
All right.
Oi.
Oh, what is this?
It's a tiebreaker.
Oh.
How
Oh, were we keeping track?
No, it's just
yeah.
part of the game.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, I think
Just
I
go,
lost.
how large is the United States in square miles?
Oh gosh,
Oh, I know the first 2 numbers. I don't know if it's million or billions.
I have no
thousands
clue.
There's no options. You
There's
expect
no
me to
options.
guess this?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know
but
it's-
just guess.
It's 3 something.
How long is the United States in square miles?
3,000,008. No.
So I'm gonna guess that there's like
38,000?
I'm gonna guess that there's like between like 5 and 10 miles, square miles. Like, I'm trying to think.
I'm guessing it's either 380,000 square miles.
Well,
cause I know it's 3.8. I know that number. I also know how many
say that
zeros
again,
are behind
Danny?
it. I know it's 3.8, but I don't know how many zeros are behind it.
You know it's 3.8?
It's 3.8 something.
It's 38,000.
Got
No,
3
350 million.
I'm just trying to think,
358
like,
million.
okay, so there's 330 million people in the United States. And then, like, how many square miles per person?
Well,
is
people
out
are
there?
stacked up on top of each other, too, in
Right.
certain states.
Right.
Like, New York, that's all they are, stacked up on top of each other.
Right.
I'm going with 3.8 million.
3.81? I'm going to stick with 30. Oh, you just steal my numbers.
You said 38. I said 3.8.
Oh, my bad.
3.8 and
Yes.
38.
What is it? If it's,
Oh!
All of this.
CJ with the come from behind
All of this
tiebreaker
nonsense, you
win.
all doubting me and
Oh,
my
man.
intelligence. It was a conspiracy. We got our country from England, not Spain. And I'm right because I got that on the dot. You see that?
33
3.8.
amendments.
And there's no comment in my feed that says 3.8.
All right, we're about to take another small break
There's
and
one.
watch an ad by me.
Abby says 3.7.
And we will be right back in about 3 minutes. Okay, see y'all in a little bit.
Don't click away. I know you're tempted. Don't do it because we'll be right back. And don't worry about it, okay? We're going to be right back. CJ is probably going to try something disgusting. It's going to be awesome, and he's going to make fun of my cooking. Something like that's going to happen. I have no idea. This is pre-recorded. But don't scroll away. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. Let me take this moment to kind of plug my stuff with no shame. You can follow our Instagram at the Ripple Youth on Instagram, or you can follow us on YouTube at The Ripple, where we do life group every single Sunday morning. You can check us out there. We're probably going to keep up that tradition after this quarantine. If you find us after the quarantine, please consider checking us out sometime. We're located in Griffith, Indiana, and you can come visit us at any moment of the week. So I'm sure someone's going to be in the building, but Sunday, we're definitely going to be there. So check us out Sunday. You can visit our church's website at hopespringchurch.org. If you want to learn more about our youth group, just go to the Ripple tab and click that, and you'll be entered the world of the Ripple. So thank you for watching, and keep on watching. There's going to be a few more commercials, I think, maybe.
Welcome back. We took a small break.
Sorry.
Hey, CJ.
How's it going? It was,
You,
it was napping a little bit.
Napping just a little bit. All right, let's play another game because we love our games here. And then we'll go into our movie. So, you excited about the game?
I have no idea what it is.
Oh, great. It's America versus or Star Wars.
Marca or Star Wars?
America or Star Wars. And the point of the game, if you go to the next slide on the game thing, then can you read us the first slide on it?
Title graphic off.
Yeah, title graphic off. Go back to a slide. Go back on the side.
Marca.
That's
That's as far as it goes?
Star
as far as it
Wars.
goes.
Is there a second one before after that?
It goes 34, 0, 1, 2. This one?
No. It's just, what's the second one? Go back to the first one. What's the one after that? Is that the first one?
That's the first one.
Oh, okay. So the point of the game. I'm so sorry, guys. I thought there was instructions on there, but apparently the instructions didn't.
Are we muted?
We shouldn't be. Can you scroll down on the volume? Nope.
Nope.
we're
All
not.
right. No, I'm sorry. I didn't see
So the point of this game
see the
is
bars.
to
Sorry.
we're gonna talk about different battles, and we're gonna see if there's battles from real life American battles, or are they Star Wars battles? The first.
So we have to tell between the two battles which is which.
I would be really disappointed if you guys can't figure
Oh
it out.
man, yeah, this is gonna be even more embarrassing.
Okay, Nick, give us the first one.
Okay.
Nope. Go back.
Nope.
Go back. There we go. That's the battle.
Okay.
Now hit transition. There you go. Read the battle.
The Tet Offensive.
The TET offensive. Is it an American battle or a Star Wars battle?
America or Star Wars.
I love that you wrote a song about it. So you still think this is easy? Like, do you know which one this is, Nick?
I think this is easier, but I could be wrong.
I think it's a Star Wars battle. Just because I can never remember ever hearing anything called Tet Offensive.
I don't have anyone say anything yet. I got someone said
I got
American battle.
Two, yeah, I got two that says American. So there you go. I'm off again. So
I'm gonna go American. I know the answer of this one, and it's because I cheated because I made this game, and I remember this one. I thought it was really interesting because I didn't know how to play. So this one is American. But can you read the fact?
Yeah, this one is America, and the fun fact is, on January 31st, 1968, some 70,000 North Vietnamese and Viet Cong forces launched the Tet Offensive, named for the Lunar New Year holiday called Tet. A coordinated series of fierce attacks on more than 100 cities and towns in South Vietnam against U.S. forces stationed in key strategic areas. This forced the U.S. out of Vietnam once and for all. There you go.
That's a Tet battle.
Next one here is the Battle of Incheon.
Was it Star Wars?
I think Danny knows all the answers.
I don't know this one. That was the guess.
I do not think that Daniel knows all the answers.
Oh, man.
I knew the first one because I was like, how do you
I
play
thought
this
the
game?
first one was Star Wars, so I'm just going to stick
I
with
did
Star
too.
Wars until I get it right.
So I'm going to go Star Wars.
Turns out they're all Star Wars. No.
Except for the first one.
Any people out there think they're smart?
I got some Star Wars.
I got one says Star Wars, and that's my wife. No one else has guessed. Oh, wait. Abby says America. Chloe says Star Wars. Haley says Star Wars.
Oh, I have Ryan saying Star Wars.
Abby,
I'm
you're
more
supposed to be the
confident.
smart one.
Ryan says Star Wars.
Yep, I'm way more confident this answer is Star Wars.
And y'all are wrong.
Oh, Abby!
Ryan, how can you be wrong?
Abby, I am
Yeah, right.
sorry.
I'm very disappointed.
Don't know your
It's an
movie.
American.
Come on. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Wow, Abby, I'm never going against you again. I'm sorry.
I trusted you, Ryan.
Fun fact here is the Battle of Incheon was an amphibious invasion and battle of the Korean War that resulted in a decisive victory and strategic reversal in favor of the United Nations.
Amphibious
And
invasion?
now you know.
Amphibious invasion?
From water.
Yeah, so they like subs and stuff? Or
No,
boats?
more like
D-Day.
amphibious is like in and out, so it
Okay.
goes like both. So like
Like D-Day.
yeah, like D-Day.
Okay.
We had ships blowing up key positions. It'd be headboats attacking the shores. Those
Cool,
are always
cool, cool,
scary
cool, cool,
videos
cool,
to
cool.
watch.
All right, the next one is the Battle of Yingchor.
In control. Star Wars.
Sticking with Star Wars.
Yingchor, the battle.
Wait, we have people writing in. We have nobody saying anything because they don't see it yet. In control just sounds Star Wars. Here we go. They just now saw it. We'll see what they say. What is our group saying?
Abby,
Brian says he will get the next one right because we called him out.
Abby, I
So Brian,
apologize.
here's your chance to get the next one right. We got Star Wars. We got Star Wars.
I'm going with Star. I said Star Wars already. I'm going with Star Wars. I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, keep on the Star
And
Wars
now,
track.
Yeah, well,
until
and
you-
now I said I was never going to go against Abby, but she's going with America. But she also commented she was going to miss the next one wrong on
Star
purpose. So
Wars?
I don't know what to
wow.
think.
I'm going with Star Wars. All my
I
students
said
are
Star
going
Wars off the bat. I'm going with Star Wars.
What is this? In control.
And
Star Wars.
Yeah, we're feeling
Yes.
it is Star Wars.
So Chloe got that one right, and that is it on my group.
My whole group got this right.
Abby and Haley missed it. Your whole group got it right. That's good.
Mm-hmm, everyone.
good.
I only have 3 people in my group on the chat,
But all 3 got it right?
there's 4 people watching. I think that 4th one is me. So
No.
All right, and the Battle of Yinchor represented a series of aggressive actions by the Yinchori in 33 BBY, after joining the Galactic Republic in 58 BBY. The Yinchori were quick to embrace the inflow of technology and commerce. A military force was rapidly developed, and the dreams of conquest inhabited their minds. Provoked by Darth Plagueis and Darth Sidious, the Yinchori seized the Golden Nest shipyards before invading the nearby moon of Mavich 5. In fact, Plagueis wanted to see if the Yinchori were worthy to host a secret cloned army for the destruction of the Jedi. And now you know.
Sounds like it was read by a Jedi.
it did.
It did, yeah. That was very well done.
The Battle of Pusan Perimeter.
That sounds made up.
Marika.
Aren't all battles made up?
No, some are very real, Danny. Yeah, I'm gonna go with America on this one. It sounds like it's in like the Middle East somewhere.
Pusan.
Pusan.
Also
Like,
sounds
kinda
Star
America.
Wars.
Got my first America.
Yeah,
What's your group
Chloe says America. That's all I've got so far.
I'm gonna go America.
America.
Yellers are Googling quickly.
And it's America.
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 Congratulations, Chloe. Well done.
The Battle of the Pusan Perimeter was a large-scale battle between U.S. and North Korean forces, not Middle Eastern at all, lasting from August 4th to September 18, 1950. It was one of the first major engagements of the Korean War. An army of 140,000 U.S. troops, having been pushed to the brink of defeat, were rallied to make a final stand against the invading North Korean army of 98,000 men strong.
Well.
All right. This has got to be Star Wars. The Battle of Mon Calamari.
That's 100% Star Wars.
That's got to be Star Wars. I
I don't know.
cannot see that being.
Maybe there was a dispute over some calamari somewhere at the, at an Olive Garden nearby, and there was the Battle of Mon Calamari.
Lobster, we're like, you know what? This is worth fighting over.
I'm just
I'd
saying,
fight over some good calamari.
People have rioted over less.
Fun fact, the best place to get calamari, if you really like calamari, the best place for sure is Carrabba's in Cherville.
And
The
that's
best
been your
calamari, by far. Go get some.
ad.
Change your life.
So everybody in my group is saying Star Wars. Chloe, Abby, Haley, Star Wars. Mon Calamari. And the answer is
Star Wars.
Woo! You know,
Very
everyone
good,
in my
very good.
group also
Everybody
said it
knew.
was Star Wars.
Everybody knew.
Not even debate. When is it calamari after this? Calamari?
The Battle of Mon Calamari took place during the Clone Wars in 22 BBY and was fought between the Mon Calamari and the Quarren races on the planetary system Dak.
Doc.
The Quarren teamed up with the Mayopa people and the Confederacy of Independent Systems and the Quarren Isolation League in order to attempt the overthrow, the rule of the Calamari Council. Can anybody explain the BBY? What is that?
Before Battle of Yemen.
Before Battle of Yemen.
Yep. When they poop the Death Star, episode 4.
Okay. All right. I appreciate that that Star Wars
That
knowledge.
nerd knowledge.
Yeah. All right. The Siege of Mandalore. Mandalore.
Now everyone knows what it is.
I was trying to say it different, Danny. Mandalore.
This is
The Siege of Mandalore.
Mandalorians.
No, that's not it. It's Mandalore.
Oh.
Completely different.
Yeah.
They're
No,
named
it's-
after fighters in Asia.
Yeah.
The Siege of Mandalore.
Oh, we already know this one. Star Wars.
No, it very well could be somewhere in the Philippines.
If Mandalorian is a meme. Baby Yoda's a thing.
That's what I was trying to say it differently. Yeah, it was Star Wars. Yeah, everybody knows. All right. The Siege of Mandalore completely enveloped the outer rim world of Mandalore. It also just so happened to be one of the final battles of the Clone Wars and included everyone's favorite dual lightsaber-wielding Sith Lord, Darth Maul. Both Ahsoka Tano and clone Captain Rex were sent to apprehend Maul, who was controlling Mandalore via Prime Minister Almec. Ahsoka and Rex sent in a battalion of troops to force Maul into retaliation with his own loyal forces. All right.
Very interesting.
The next one is the Battle of Scarif. The Battle of Scarif. 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 Scarif.
Scarif.
I want to crank this so bad. I don't know if it means Skirt.
We're having a good time here.
Skirt.
I think he's crying. And I'm frozen.
Oh,
We
man.
did this
Then you're
shit.
not there.
The Battle of Skirt.
I'm going to go Star Wars.
Star Wars, yeah.
Yeah, it's Star Wars.
It's the end of Rogue One. Don't need to read it. Go watch the movie.
No need to read it?
No need to read it. Go watch the movie.
Scurf.
All right.
If the Battle of Yemen's in here.
The Battle of He Sang.
This is America.
I don't know if it's He or He or how it's pronounced. K? It could be K.
K-san.
K-san.
Croissant.
Croissant.
The Battle of
Buttery
Croissant.
croissant.
America.
America.
It sounds American to me.
America.
I've got three say Star Wars.
Three. Wow.
America. I have Ryan just putting fun facts on all the battles from Star
I'm
Wars,
sorry,
but like
two-
completely silent at all the
No,
American.
three say Star Wars. Wait, one says Star Wars and then switch to America. I'm confused. Sounds like Star Wars out here.
The Battle of Croissant sounds like Star Wars.
All right.
What is it?
It is America.
The Battle of Croissant.
This attack came on January 21st, 1968, when PAVN forces began a massive artillery bombardment of Croissant, hitting the base's main store of ammunition and destroying 90% of its artillery and mortar rounds. President Lyndon Johnson agreed with Westmoreland's argument that the base should be held at all costs. And U.S. and South Vietnamese forces launched Operation Niagara, a a major artillery bombardment of suspected locations of North Vietnamese artillery in the hills surrounding Cusong.
So that's America. Croissant. That's how Niagara Falls was built.
The Battle of.
The Battle of Coruscant. The Battle of Coruscant. The Battle of Coruscant.
And an Italian one.
The Battle of Coruscant.
Croissant. The Battle of Croissant.
I'm going with Star Wars.
I'm gonna have to go with Star Wars as well.
Yep, that's Star Wars. I can just tell you a brief history on this one. It's when the Confederacy found a hyperspace lane that led them straight to Croissant, and they attacked them, which is the opening of Episode 3. Next,
That's good.
theme.
Battle
Next.
of Croissant.
PewDiePie.
Salt. Or Star Killer Base. I'm definitely. This is Marca.
This is Marca.
all
This
over.
is most definitely the Space Force,
Yeah.
and
Yes, this is a recent battle that
Yep.
was
This is
happened.
when Reagan started.
Yes, Operation Star Wars.
Star Killer Base.
I just had the first
awesome.
one. SW Star Wars. Okay.
It's just Star Wars. Yes.
Yes. And brief history on that one.
Brief
That's
history.
when they attacked the big planet that was the Death Star, but planet size instead of moon size.
So I just learned a interesting fact about one of my students through this. Chloe Hammond, which is the pastor's daughter, she knew exactly that it was in episode 3 of the Croissant battle. And then Holly asked her, "Was like, you watch Star Wars?" And she says, "I don't like it, but we do." So, but she knew her Battle of Croissant.
Croissant, yeah. It looks like
Good
croissant
job,
on
Chloe.
the space things.
It does. Delicious.
Delicious croissant. That's why it's called croissant.
The Battle of Little Big Horn.
Marca.
I'm gonna say America. I hate to say this, probably against the Native Americans.
Yes, it was.
Little Bighorn.
I'm gonna say America as well.
Is that what's that called? What's a shrimp? An oxymoron? Little Bighorn?
Little Big Horn. Yeah.
It's oxymoron.
And you got some answers, people?
No. Nobody's guessing.
Huh?
This is, I think, Chloe says America.
America.
America. Little Bighorn. Some trivia behind this. So, the Battle of Little Bighorn, known to the Lakota and other Plains Indians as the Battle of Greasy Grass, and commonly referred to as Custer's Last Stand, was an armed engagement between combined forces of the Lakota, the Northern Cheyenne,
Yeah.
Cheyenne, I don't know how you say that,
Cheyenne.
and Arapaho tribes, and the 7th Cavalry Regiment of the United States Army. The battle, which occurred June 25 through the 26th of 1876, along the Little Bighorn region in the eastern Montana Territory, was the most significant action of the Great Sioux War of 1876. And now you know. And, yeah.
So, Little Bighorn, Battle of Little Bighorn or whatever, and Custer's Last Stand are the exact same thing. Did not
Yeah,
know that.
yeah.
Did not know that.
That's what it is.
Now I know.
And that's it.
Oh, cool.
That's what we got.
Whoa, wow. I feel like I could run for president now. With all that knowledge on our battles.
Run for.
All right, we're about to go to break here and watch Randy rant the same story he did last week as we take a quick break. Next week there will be more Randy videos because I've been making them. Just couldn't download them today. Anyways, Randy.
What's up, men and women? How y'all doing today? It's Randy, Danny's second cousin, twice removed, 7 times forgotten. One time at a Kmart, looking at the red Power Ranger and the blue Power Ranger had to decide. Honestly, I really wanted the yellow one. She was hot. But Danny, my cousin Danny, he wanted me to tell you the Bible story. And I know what y'all thinking. Randy, you don't know the Bible. You dropped out of Sunday school. Whatever. I knew enough. I paid attention in children's Sunday school long enough to understand how to exactly tell a story. So I want to tell about this guy. His name was John. Was it Jacob? Jingerheimer Smith? His name is my name too? Wait a second. My name's Randy, man. But his name's called Jay. CJ, what's his name? CJ. Why you don't shrug your shoulders, man. CJ. Okay, man. Jay. Oh yeah, I remember talking about Jay. So this guy named Jay, right? He became this like secret agent who started chasing aliens, and he had this little tiny gun called a cricket. And he shot a car with it and blew it up because he thought he was gonna shoot like a little one, but it was a big one. It was boom. It was crazy. And then he fought this big cockroach by stepping on little cockroaches, and it was crazy, man. This Jay. Sorry, CJ. Sorry, back on track. Jay. What was just going with Jay? Okay, this guy named Jay, he was like a guy who can talk to God. Okay, man, he could talk to God, and God was like, "Yo, Jay, you need to go to Sin City." So he went to Sin City, and he met this guy named Billy who taught him all how to steal money from casinos, and he just kept going and stealing money, and then he got banned from casinos. Man, wait a second, man. CJ, that was a movie, right? Oh man, Jay, prophet of God, Jay. Oh yeah, he said no God. He ran away. He ran from God. He's like, I want to go away. And then these pirates, one was a cucumber man. He sang a song like we're the pirates who don't do anything. We just stay at home. It was a great song, my favorite song, man, because I don't do anything either. And God did something that made the pirates throw him overboard. I don't remember, man. And he was eaten by a giant fish. And that fish lost its son named Nemo. And he went off to find his son. And he found it. Oh, that's Nemo, man. Oh, man, that's not the story. Jay was in the fish. He wasn't searching for a fish. Duh. So anyways, he's found the fish, and he's in the fish, and he's in there for 3 days or something, and he comes out bleached and pale or something, and he walks and preaches to the Sin City. He was like, Las Vegas people, you're all gonna die. And they were like, oh, we need to repent, man. We need to repent before we die. And then Jay was all mad. I think his name was Joseph. Anyways, that's the Bible story, guys. See you all later. Okay, Danny, was that good? Danny, why'd you walk out? Danny!
Welcome back. So we're going to be talking about National Treasure. So again, we ask you, what are some spiritual undertones that you've seen in National Treasure? Hopefully you got to watch it with us. I don't know whether or not you did or not, but we do hope you do it. Do it. Do. See, you're old, so it doesn't matter.
Oh
Making
my!
fun of my young.
I'm
jokes.
just saying, that was like my 5-year-old's joke. I'm just
do. It's definitely a Randy joke.
yes, definitely, cousin Randy.
But what are some spiritual undertones that you guys see in it? And we're about to talk about our spiritual undertones. So I'm gonna start off with kind of the overall thing I see. Then you have a few interesting ones. Then we'll kind of close it off at whatever you guys have, or go back and forth until we think that we talked enough.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm satisfied.
So I watched National Treasure, and I went from the understanding of just imagine. So the movie goes off right, like we get introduced to this guy named Gates who's searching for treasure, and he teams up with this rich dude named Ian who thinks he has all the riches to get him to where he needs to go, right? And they both go after the same treasure, which is the National Treasure, right? And they get to this crossroads where they need to make a choice that's going to be life changing, and which is stealing of the Constitution. So one chooses to do it, but doesn't really care about preserving history, and the other one takes it and doesn't really and wants to preserve the history, so he steals it out of a better moral sense, if you can say that. So they both steal. They both go off and steal, and they have this kind of treasure hunt where at one point in time, some people have certain pieces of the puzzle, and the other time somebody else has a piece of the puzzle. But at the end, Gates has all the pieces of the puzzle, and you see throughout the whole movie these two people kind of going after the same treasure, but going after it different ways. And eventually, Gates does get to the treasure and is the good guy, right, at the end, and gets kind of saved from the prison. So what I kind of saw here is trying to get this in more of a spiritual sense of things and how you could take it, which, again, these are stretches. This one's kind of a stretch, but you can totally see this happening is both people are going after this treasure. And if you look at this treasure as something like what's spiritual instead of physical treasure, because you know that where your treasures are, your heart will be also. So in this text, Gates is pursuing an earthly treasure, which I would never suggest anyone ever do because it's not worth it. Like, even if it's like you're searching after missing doctrine or whatever from ancient times, it's not worth going after when you know God personally. But if we change that treasure to like searching after Jesus, then you have this idea of following Jesus in pursuit of everything you got. And look at Gates. Gates is a dude who knows his history, right? He knows his history. He knows what he's talking about. There might be some times where he's not exactly right, but eventually he gets there, right? He's this person of great intelligence. And then Ian is this guy of great resources. He has the money. He knows the people. He just well resourced out. So these two guys kind of head off. And just in our spiritual life, there might be there's the people who are well resourced in the world. Maybe they're a pastor's kid, or maybe they grew up in church their whole life, or maybe they went to a Bible college or whatever. They're well resourced, but they may not know Jesus the same way Gates does. Gates has this again, seeking American treasure is Christian knowledge. He's replacing those two. The character like Gates, he knows what he's talking about. He doesn't just know what he's talking about, he loves what he's talking about. It's almost as if he has a relationship with these founding fathers. He knows facts about them, he knows what they're thinking, and we can get to this point with God, where we might not know everything Jesus is thinking, because that's almost impossible, but we will know how Jesus will respond to certain actions. We know how Jesus wants things pursued, how he wants our lives to be lived out. We have a whole Bible laid out for that. And there's a people who know their Bible, who can quote certain passages, but they don't love it, they don't know it, they don't study it. What they do is they know certain Bible verses, and they know how to pursue their point. They don't love the text, they just know the text. But if you're more of a Gates person, you love the text. You love the relationship with God. You love having a relationship with God. So you both get to there's this time where you guys both get to the point where the treasure is within grasp. Salvation is within grasp, right? And Ian, being the antagonist, thinks he has the treasure, thinks he knows all the information, thinks he has all the pieces of the puzzle, thinks he has it all figured out, right? But because he doesn't love the text and doesn't know the text, he doesn't realize the treasure is right behind a wall. He is so intoxicated with his self-resources and his power that he is allowed to be led astray to go to another place looking for the treasure. And Gates knew the treasure, right?
Right.
So Gates tricks Ian to get it away and finds a treasure. And look at this in our life. If we know Jesus, if we love Jesus, if we pursue this relationship, we will know the real thing. People may be able to say different things about it, but we will know what the real thing is. We won't be able to be led astray from where the treasure actually lies. And that's the kind of the spiritual undertone that I got after watching the movie. And honestly, National Treasure is a hard watch. Like when you rewatch it and rewatch it and rewatch it, because like you start to listen to the music and you're just like, oh, this is so corny 2000 music. It's just like boo doo 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 doo. It's like, oh my, stop it, this is corny. And then you have Bill Gates running, and you're just like, does he not know how to run? Not Bill Gates. Nicolas Cage running,
Nicolas Cage, yeah.
and just doesn't know how to run for whatever reason. Like Tom Cruise running is entertaining. Nicolas Cage running is like,
Well, yeah.
is embarrassing.
Yeah.
And like there's just so many like those things in this movie, and you're just like, is this a hard watch? It's also really slow, and once you know all the puzzle pieces, it's not a big twist at the end. It's just like you kind of know all the things. You don't really want to go back to it. But I had to go back to it at least twice this week, and it was hard. It was hard.
Mm-hmm.
But I finished it 2 times. And that's the kind of big spiritual undertone I got out of it, is that we need to know our Bible just like how Gates knows his American history. And because there needs to be a relationship with the text. There needs to be a relationship with Jesus. There needs to be a love of Christianity in order to pursue Jesus the way we need to pursue Jesus, or we'll just be Ians. And don't be an Ian.
Don't be an Ian.
Yeah. What do you see, CJ?
So I like that thought, and I too have agree with that. Like there's constantly, like there should be that pursuit of God, like there was this pursuit of that treasure, right? But when I watched this movie and I've been thinking about it, like I haven't seen it actually in a while, so for me to watch it back, and I only watched it once this week, but for me to watch it back was like, oh, wow, this is actually a pretty good movie. Yes, it's a little old, but to me it wasn't a bad watch to go back and watch for probably only the second or third time total. But I couldn't help but think about this passage that I'm going to read to you. So it's in Matthew chapter 6 verse 19, and it's a very familiar passage. We all probably know it. It says, "Do not lay up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth, rust, destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroy, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." You mentioned that passage, that verse. It says, "The eye is the lamp of the body, so is your eye healthy. Your whole body is full of light." And I'm going to read this, and I know it's a little drawn out, but stick with me because I think it's important to the end for my point. "But if your eye is bad, and your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the light is in you is darkness, how great is the darkness? No one can serve 2 masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and money." Oh, okay. My thought behind all of this was you can't serve God and money, right? At the end there, it talks about how you should treasure up, trying to get the things of heavens. Don't put your things into earthly things. And I kept sitting there watching this 2-hour movie about a guy who was doing nothing but trying to take care of himself. And I know that's not kind of the thing, and I like the theme of pursuing God and all that, like Gates did, and the knowledge and all that. But I kept sitting there thinking, man, this is America in a nutshell. We are all constantly chasing that treasure, and when the treasure is supposed to be in heaven, right? And that's supposed to be in spreading the gospel and sharing the gospel and laying up those treasures in heaven, and that treasure in the treasures that we'll be laying up in heaven are rewards for leading people to Christ and spreading the gospel and discipling people. And yet all this guy wanted to do was clear his name and his family name and get notification for the treasure. And then even at the end, the guy says at the end, he's complaining because he only got, could have taken 10%, could have taken 10%. I don't know if you caught that at the end of the movie. And he's like, we settled for a measly 1%, and he's driving off in my kid will kill me if I mess this up, but I think it's a Lamborghini. Yeah, he's driving away in a Lamborghini, I believe, and doesn't know how to drive it and stuff, and he's not even happy with that 1% of the total treasure, right? So he's got a Lamborghini, and then it shows Gates is panning out, and he's got this ginormous house, right? And then if you know anything else about National Treasure, there's a second one, right? So he's going on pursuing more. And yes, I get it. They're like, there's nothing wrong with being a discoverer, and like they're unearthing all kinds of stuff that's actually helpful in proving the Bible. So I'm not saying that, but pursuing something that matters for Christ is what's ultimately the point, right? And so everything that we say, everything that we do should bring honor and glory to God. Well, I think that's everything that we're pursuing too. And in a day and age where that's only continued to get worse, and like you said, this movie is kind of old, and so even back then, I feel like this was like the theme, And yes, it's entertaining and it's a good movie to watch when you're just sitting around. But what are we trying to pursue? Even the choices that we make, or you guys are making, right? Some of you are graduating this year. You didn't get to walk, but you're finishing school up and you're about to go to college. The choices you're making is going to determine what you're actually pursuing in life. And a lot of people say, "Oh, it's about my heart," but your life and your actions actually back up a lot of what says who you are. And so, are you seeking a degree to make a lot of money? Are you seeking a degree to satisfy some selfish ambition, or are you seeking a degree? Are you seeking a life that's in the pursuit of laying up your treasures in heaven and not on earth? So that's kind of the take I took from this one, and I don't know why. But like you said, there are a lot of other good ones about, like I said, pursuing God above, like with the passion that Gates did. Man, if we pursued God with the passion that Gates pursued for this treasure, because he was willing to humiliate himself, willing to go to prison for it, and all this stuff, just to clear his name and just to pursue this treasure. If we did that as Christians too, what would that do? So
yeah. And kind of merging those two are 2 points. But Gates's name in this movie was really like tainted.
Yeah.
Like conspiracy. Following Jesus is gonna do that to your name. Like, Jesus even said I'm gonna turn people against you. They hate me. They hate you, but they hate me first. Right? Jesus said that type of stuff. And it's not that don't get us wrong. Don't be the type of person who's that snob or person who's self-righteous who seeks to be hated for Jesus. Love people, pursue people, speak truth, and those are going to hate you. Jesus knew that truth is going to get people against him.
Right.
What we stand up for, what we believe, is going to get us in trouble. Not that we are seeking trouble or that we want to be the jerk, but that we want to speak truth. And sometimes truth is hard to hear, honestly.
Yeah.
I remember there was a teen in my group last year who didn't like hearing the truth.
Yeah.
And that was something really hard to kind of get across and tell them in a loving way. And it's really hard to communicate what the truth is and not try to be pushy. Right? And part of it is just sometimes you just need to be like Gates and accept that people are going to hate you.
Right.
Accept people are going to be bitter about it. But we can still love on people and love them. One of the things that a lot of Christians these days like to follow is the love only God. God only loves. He's the only attribute is love.
Yeah.
That's not God. What does truth tell us about God?
Well, a lot, but God is a jealous God. He's a just God. And there's a lot of things, and yet the truth, like you said, this whole prosperity gospel, or love God, that God wouldn't do such a thing to allow these things to happen, and yet that's just I think a poor understanding of who God is.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see, like, first, I would love to see, like, who actually watched this movie. So if you're, like, in our group and you watch this movie, just comment in that you watched. And maybe if you have any take on this, too, actually comment that in there so we can read those. But going back to that point of, oh, man, what was it? The pursuing God like Gates did. The other thing that I thought of when I watched this was how Gates was, like, and you kind of mentioned or touched on it, but Gates was very well like acknowledged in the artifacts and the clues and stuff like that. So he was always one step ahead of Ian, even though Ian was like well connected and he had all the toys and the tricks and stuff and he had the plan. Yeah, Gates, just because he was so well knowledged in it, he was one step ahead. And I feel like that relates to us also in our Christian life. If we are as passionate in studying God's word and those things, when those people do come against us and challenge us, or we don't hear truth, we'll be, ready to give a defense and be able to answer that question because we have the knowledge. And so often I hear kids in my group, I don't know about your group, but one of their biggest problems with sharing the gospel is they're afraid that they don't know enough. Or that they're just scared that they're going to get rejected. But the fear of not knowing enough is only person's problem that is yours. So being as well knowledged in the word as Gates maybe was in these clues will help with that fear of rejection, of not knowing enough when you're trying to share the gospel with your friends. Because I believe a lot of people in my group, I know probably some in your group too, that are very passionate and do want to see their friends come to Christ. And I think no one would say that they that has friends that don't know Christ, don't want their friends to know Christ. But if we're as passionate as knowing how to share the gospel and being ready to give that answer as Gates was to find these clues, we could probably do better.
Yeah, that's a great point. So I want to get kind of this say something that I was kind of a win for me this week.
Yeah.
So it goes on with this movie. So I've been doing this Google Hangout with my group. We're gonna go over this Bible study. It's pretty awesome. And the first last week we opened with this questions, and it's true or false questions, and some kind of basic theology. Sorry, it's 7:30, so my lights came off.
I was told that we looked better in the dark last week when the lights went out on us. I don't know if that was an insult or if they were serious.
Anyways, sorry about that. Anyways, we had this Google Hangout, and one of the wins. So the first week we talked, and it was just like a bunch of just like kind of like off answers, right? And it's like, that's right but wrong. That's wrong. That's right but wrong. That's right. Okay, cool. Okay, now it's wrong. Right? And we had this true or false thing where we tried to get them to describe what they believe, right? And then we went through this whole Bible study, and we kind of went through some Bible verses. At the end, I just kind of went through these basic truths again, and they're like, that's obviously false. That's obviously false. That's obviously false. I'm like, you're seeing the heresy? And they read 4 verses.
Cool.
4 verses, and they knew the truth from those 4 verses, and I was really encouraged to see just like the first time seeing it, because I didn't tell them what they're right or wrong. I just let them kind of sit in their answers,
right? Because
I kind of wanted them to learn from themselves. That's kind of one of my big things. I like people learning from themselves, and they blew me away. They were so confident that that's false. Yeah, that's false. That's false. I'm like, not false. Teachers try to get my students.
Yeah, they're getting it.
So, knowing the Bible helps a lot against false teachers.
Right.
And if you know it, like it's really cool. Like if you would have met me when I was in high school, I was a Christian, but not a versed Christian. Yeah, not a versed Christian.
I can attest to that.
Yeah, and I wasn't a versed Christian. I couldn't. I wasn't confident in what I believe. Now I can, if someone wants to fight me in a Bible verse challenge, me and Randy went head and head, the Bible verse champion. I'll take him out.
I can also attest to that. I've seen Danny talk to Jehovah's Witnesses that came to our door for hours Hours.
Oh, I'll talk to Jehovah's Witnesses all day. And so the funny, it's real quick, funny story. Jehovah's Witnesses came up here and said, okay, about 200 years or 2,000 years ago, David wrote this. I'm like, David didn't live 2,000 years ago. Like, it was like 4,000 years ago. It happened in, I think, dates and when it was written. It's like, most likely it was written during this era. And she was like, oh, I got in trouble. so I talked to her for hours. She tried trying to get away. I just looped her back in. It was great.
Nice.
When you get looped Jehovah's Witnesses back there, you can't leave. It's a great life. Okay. But yeah, so I like it's just something when you start reading the Bible, you start to gain more confidence in what you believe, and you'll be able to pick out the small little heresies inside people's things. And that's probably one of my biggest problems as someone who's kind of well versed is especially teaching students. Like sometimes they say something, so I need to touch on that, but that's not the topic I'm talking about right now.
Right.
And that's a rabbit hole I don't want to go down.
Yeah.
So like picking your battles is also a good thing. So if a student starts messing up some like kind of outside heresy,
Yeah.
you're just like, I don't know how to address that right now the best way. It's okay to take a step back and wait till the next day, but that's something we need to take an advantage of is making sure we're well versed and just read the Bible. Great way. Do studies. What the Bible app has thousands of studies you can do. Like reading a few simple verses will get you pretty well versed.
Yeah, I'm pretty encouraged. A lot of my kids are on that Bible app, and I have it, and I do a couple. We got one or two that I've done in the background. I don't share all the. How you can make it public and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's just encouraging seeing all of the students and their progress and the things that they're studying, and being able to have an understanding of what my students are actually studying on there, so I know where they're at and what they're doing. It's been kind of cool to see and watch. But yeah, I mean, as a whole, what did you think of the movie? You like this movie? Do you not like this movie? Like,
I
obviously
really
you said
liked
it's
it
a
when
hard
it came out because it was like, oh wow, that's really cool. Then you start to realize a lot of the history in there is kind of like iffy.
Yeah.
And then like a lot, like it's just like, if you know history, like it's not as good.
Right.
It's just like when you like watch a Bible movie, you're like, wow, that's so good. VeggieTales is so accurate.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, this is what the story actually says?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not what I learned.
Right. I on the whole, like, I think it's an entertaining movie, but like you said, not something you're gonna want to watch a lot.
Like
but
once in a blue moon, maybe to show a friend or something. Yeah, ever watch you never watched National Treasure? Okay, we have to watch it.
Yeah.
And the whole time you're texting while your friend's watching
I don't
it.
even know if it's one of those.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's like one. I'd be like, you've never seen it, you need to watch it. I'm gonna watch something else, but you make sure you watch it when you have time.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm not a huge fan, and I have one student who's apparently a really big fan of National Treasure.
Oh, sorry.
And
Sorry.
it's cool. If that's your thing, man,
Right.
that's your thing. Go for it, man. But it's just like it wasn't for me. Like honestly, like I go on these binges where I love movies, like all movies. I go on these binges where I'm like, I hate all movies.
Yeah.
Like, do I watch Marvels? No. Do I watch Star Wars? No. Do I watch a random indie? No. Just like that's like what I want to do. Play video games? No. Those are usually times that like God's like, you need to watch a Bible. You need to read the Bible, bro.
Yeah, read the Bible
because
more.
like that's what I'm trying to get to you. You've been wasting too much time on the telly.
On the telly.
Yeah. So, but yeah, National Treasure's okay. It was kind of a boring watch, and I watched the first time I watched it. I sat down 4 or 5 different times. It had like intermediate changes, and then I watched it the second time half and then half, and then yeah, that was my kind of experience with it.
Well, and what the I guess think the biggest thing I liked about National Treasure was the fact that it actually, because we're doing this though, it actually made me see like that this passage that I read that it's not, before in the past when I read it, and I feel like a lot of times when I hear sermons and stuff on it, it's all about just laying your treasures up in heaven and stuff. But if you read that passage to the end, and it talks about, you can't serve two masters, you can't, serve God and love money. And I feel like that two masters part is a wide opening. A lot of people just single it out on money. Like, you can't serve money and you can't serve God. You can't serve two masters. That can be a lot of things. That can be whatever it is you're pursuing. Maybe it's not money, maybe it's popularity, maybe it's attention, maybe it's, you know, all these other things that you're pursuing, that you are looking to for acceptance, or the word is slipping me, but what you're looking for in validation in your life, when if you were really pursuing the life of Christ, you know, you'd be laying up those treasures in heaven. So I mean, that's, I think, the best thing that I got out of this whole movie this week.
Yeah.
So
I totally get that. And it's just people pursue so many different things nowadays.
yeah,
And sometimes you need to take a step back. Is this worth my attention? And movies can definitely be that. One of my things, I gained a huge respect for movies after, like, I kind of became more, like, theologically toned, because I started to see all these, like, truths that I could use against my enemy. I remember one of the first movies I did this to was a movie that my friend, my secular friend, told me to watch this movie because this is how we see gods. And did you ever watch the movie Sausage Party? Please say no, because it's a terrible movie. Terrible movie. Do not watch it. It is a terrible movie. Anyways, he basically what happens is all the foods think that humans are gods, and then they realize that humans just kill food, and then they take revenge on humans. And I threw it in his face. Like, I took it, I watched the movie, and I was like, oh, it's like that's how you see gods, and I kind of like went through like kind of against his own theology, whatever, and say like, it's like, well, it's like that's kind of how people really do treat God, is that they think that he's this monster, but realistically he's not this monster. People have made him up to be this monster, but he's actually a loving, caring God. Unlike unlike the humans, like God's heaven isn't to destroy you; it's to recreate you into a new thing. And it's like cause like you're tainted. It's like you're not fresh food; you're rotten apples.
Yeah.
And I went from that illustration, and he was like, "What? Like, how'd you do that?" I just kind of flipped it on his head on him, and just one of those things. Like, if you learn how to watch movies theologically and understand God, you're able to use those as gospel tools.
Yeah. And
that's that's what kind of the point of this is. It's like you can see the theological undertones. When we talk about movies, if you love movies, this is a great method for you to share the gospel. And to share the gospel through movies. Maybe we should write like a book or something about that.
Yeah.
But if you can share the gospel through a movie, that means you know the gospel well enough to recreate it. Not recreate it. To capture it in secular media.
Yeah.
Even the secular media that wants to shut down God. Honestly, they can't. God's over all of them. So God's truth can be shined through secular means, and just like what God said, if we don't worship Him, the rocks will.
Right.
So, if people aren't worshiping Him, God's gonna say, not gonna give you a choice. He's gonna make you acknowledge Him, even if you try not to. Because He is the God of the universe. He's the God of truth, and He's the God of everything. So, you can't run from Him.
Right.
Any other things you want to add?
That's all I got, man.
I have no students really talking about spiritual undertones.
Yeah.
But I do have a student who thinks I was talking about her. That goes, Danny. Said he has a student who really likes movies. Me, she thinks it's her. It's not her. And I apologize for not liking it. And that was not my response. So no, Victoria, it wasn't you. It was Ryan, who loved this movie. I called out the person. But she goes, come after my books, and I'll get you. Go after the movies, I don't really care. I guess that's fair.
So, I've had a lot of requests for the next movie.
Oh, what's your request? Request your movies now if you haven't requested yet.
I just said they have a lot of requests because we just kind of skipped over it last week when they requested.
Uh-oh. Did we? That National Treasure is one of them.
Frozen.
Nope, not doing it. I can't watch it. I fall asleep every time.
Okay, but have you seen both Frozens?
I had not seen Frozen 2.
Yeah, there's two.
I was not a fan.
See, they're all saying Frozen.
I sat down. The second time I watched it, I sat down with one of the girl I liked, at the time and watched a movie. Pretty sure this is the reason she didn't like me back. I fell asleep for the second time. First time I watched it was at camp with a bunch of my camp counselors, right? Second time I watched it was back at home with a girl I liked. And it wasn't like a weird like date thing. It was just like a bunch of friends getting together. I fell asleep during it again. I fall asleep during movies when I watch it with groups of people apparently. And I just it's just boring. Like I thought the reindeer talked, but it was the dude talking for the reindeer, so like you're a little kind of weirded out by that. The whole movie's like, I get like reindeers can't actually talk, but you made a snowman talk. Can't you make the reindeer talk?
Okay. So one of them is saying Frozen Into the Unknown, Frozen, Frozen 2, Frozen, 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 Frozen. And when you said nope, can't do it, they said, oh, but you can do Star Wars. And so I feel like all the women in my youth group are gonna revolt against me.
Choose any other Frozen. Disney princess movie, I'll watch it. Frozen is boring and lame.
But it's got Olaf. Is it Olaf?
That's the only redeeming part of that movie. Is Olaf. Choose any other Disney
I'll
princess.
do it, Danny. I'll do it.
Fine, we'll do Frozen.
But you have to try to make it. You should make a video of you watching it to see what you have to do to make yourself stay awake through the whole movie, and then like use that as one of our
like eating popcorn.
Danny, I'll keep you up.
Yeah, just anytime you find him asleep, video yourself like scaring him or dumping water,
Shock, yep.
And then we'll use those clips for our commercials next week.
Oh, that'll
how
be
Danny
good.
got through Frozen.
You know, we could have Randy watch Frozen with us too. You know.
Everybody else,
Okay.
Everybody wants it, Danny. Star Wars is boring and lame. Exactly, that's what they're saying.
That's fine. You're a prerogative. You have to host the
I love
show.
Star Wars, so watch it.
But okay, we'll watch Frozen for you because I want to appease people. But next week,
I fought for you guys. I just want you to know that.
I do
He's
have
not
a request.
happy.
Do not watch the second one. So we're gonna go with this. We're going with the first.
Oh,
one.
because they don't want spoilers. Because didn't the second one just kind of come out?
Like last year, right?
Did it?
Yeah.
It's been out that long and I haven't.
But
seen
we'll watch the first one.
I
No
got
worries
boys.
for-
They don't care about the princess.
No worries for y'all who haven't watched it. We'll watch the first one. But the week after, we should watch Ready Player One. Can I have a request for that?
Player One.
Oh,
That
it's
was
so
actually
good.
really good.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah,
Ready Player
I
One.
like that
Why
a
do I
lot.
feel like I know that one?
It is a video game movie.
Yeah,
It's a really good movie. You'll like it.
I'll look into it.
I think that's probably like one of Danny's like, if I could like think of Danny making a movie, that would be Danny's movie that he made.
Is that the one with the kid who's in the games?
Yeah.
It's about virtual reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think I've
Yeah.
seen it. I think
Another
I've
really
seen
good movie is Scott Pilgrim Saves the World.
it. Who?
Scott Pilgrim Saves the
Oh
World.
no,
I don't
that's
know
on
what it's
Netflix,
rated.
isn't it?
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Versus the World. My bad.
That was on Netflix, wasn't it?
I don't know what it's rated. It
Yeah.
might be rated PG-13. I
It's
don't think it's rated
PG-13.
R. But that's it's a really fun like romantic nerd comedy.
Okay.
There's definitely some stuff in it.
Is there?
Yeah.
That we should not be advertising.
No.
No, I haven't seen it since like
Well, there's like it's tough to like you have to really do pay attention. Like this is a disclaimer for all the parents that are watching. Like
Yeah.
just because we mention a movie doesn't mean watch it, which just means that we've done research on these movies too. But like as a parent, which you guys don't know, but you have to like
he's old.
yes, because I'm old. You have to really be careful and like find out what's in every movie before your kids are watching it, or you yourself have to do that because you don't want to. Because PG-13 nowadays can be anything and everything. I mean, Star Wars, some of those are I think PG-13 just because of violence, right?
Just
So
because of
it's
violence.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Well, also it depends on your maturity level.
don't have to worry about it though with Frozen.
Yeah.
Well, Frozen has some weird stuff in it.
Well,
It has a cheating dude. Right?
Yeah.
Is the guy cheats? I don't remember. They talk about sandwiches or something.
you don't know.
You fell asleep, Danny. You
Yeah, you fell asleep. You put like 3 different moves. Like you're putting your dream in there with. He's putting his dream of his sandwich and parts of Frozen together because he fell asleep and dreamed about a sandwich in the middle of Frozen. So.
Yeah, we finish each other's sandwiches, man. But I do admit, one of my favorite scenes in Frozen, based on what I've seen,
That you've seen. Yes.
Yeah.
The parts that you've seen.
is the is the scene where Olaf meets the snowman. He lets the two go away. He goes, "Okay, let's get away from the fat idiot," whatever you call it. He gets the goes, "Oh, hey, just talking about you.
Yeah.
All good things. All good things." My boss when Frozen first came out goes, "You remind me of Olaf." I'm like,
That is. Is
So I
that
had
an
to
insult or what?
I don't know. To this day, I don't know. I think my boss likes me.
Yeah.
He hasn't seen the rest of the movie, so
He gave me a shirt the other day, so I'm pretty
sure.
sure he likes me. He goes, so every time I'm talking about something, he shows up behind me. He goes, "Oh, hey, just talking about you. All good things. All good things."
Oh, nice.
He was like, "Yeah, it's gonna get old." I'm like, "Yeah, it's."
So, I feel like you should get cousin Danny to do a Let It Go parody or something for this.
I might get
episode.
Randy to do it.
What did I say? Your cousin?
I
That's
don't
what I
know.
said. Cousin
Oh,
Randy.
yeah. I might get Randy. Might have to call him up.
That's what I said. Get cousin Randy. But
Randy's a weird dude. He would talk about a movie, but then you realize the movie's not the movie he's talking about.
Okay, so apparently, my entire family has seen this second Frozen, but they watched it without me, so I didn't have to suffer through it.
Sad.
But I think I've only seen the original one once, or twice actually. And I think the second time I actually made my kids watch it, I was like, I want to watch Frozen. They're like, what is wrong with you? It's like, just sit down and watch it. I don't know why. I hadn't seen it in a while.
Yeah, so we'll watch Frozen, the first one, and
We have to watch the first.
Elsa
A lot of
and-
mine. I'm sorry. A lot of mine are asking for the, or a couple of mine are asking for the second one. But we had a request to not watch the second one,
Yeah.
probably because someone else hasn't seen it yet, which I haven't.
or they
either,
really
so.
don't like it.
Or they really don't like it, and we don't want to do any spoilers.
But we don't want to do any spoilers. We've been trying to stay away from newer movies.
Yeah.
So I think what the newest movie we watched so far is. We did.
Star Wars.
No, the newest
Harry
movie we
Potter.
watched was Toy Story 3.
Oh yeah, Toy Story 3. Do you know I heard today, speaking on movies, and this is just a fun fact for everybody out there, but there was a guy who, I don't know, I can't remember who he was now, but he's like an actor, no, he was like a producer or writer or something like that, but he put together in his quarantine time like the best top 10 movies that their sequels were better than the originals, right?
Toy
Because
Story one of those?
was typically, yeah, Toy Story was one of those, but typically, you know, the sequels are awful. But in this situation, his number one movie that the second was better than the first was Toy Story.
I can see that. Toy
He
Story
said out of his top
definitely-
10, the best sequel ever
I don't
is
like
Toy Story 2.
2 as much as Toy Story 1, but Toy Story 3 and 4, they may be better than 1.
Dude, this got into a debate at work, like me and another guy, like we were seriously debating which Toy Story was the best of all 4 Toy Stories. And here we are, grown men at work, we're, you know, welding and torching and stopping and like, no, I don't know, man. Lotso, that was a good one, you know, which is kind of crazy.
The thing about 3 and 4 dealt with real issues.
Right.
Yeah, there was definitely some waterworks almost involved in
Yeah.
3,
I cried
especially.
during 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
The
and
first time I watched 3, I literally cried.
I,
I'm also a very emotional human being, but
I'm an emotional human being, but I would never admit that publicly.
I'll never admit that.
No.
Dude, you're a toxic man.
But
Stop being toxic.
The first 2 are like, I mean, the first one's like it sets the groundwork for all the other ones. So it's like, man, I don't know, it was tough. But for me, for his statement though, that was huge. Out of because his genre was not just like animated movie. He was going like way back, like Bride of Frankenstein. He said like the second one ever made. I don't even know when that was.
Wait,
but like he was using this large, huge scale, and he said number 1 overall best sequel is Toy Story 2 over every sequel ever made. That just
Story
blew my
2?
mind. That's what he said. Toy
I
Story
wouldn't say
2 was
that.
better than the first.
I think Toy Story 2 is boring.
I don't know. Toy Story 2 is good. That's when Woody discovers who he is, and
Well, yeah, it was some good nostalgia, but like, it was
It's
just
a
like
good
rewatch value. I don't think I've rewatched it like recently.
yeah, no, I
I've had Disney
actually,
Plus for a while.
actually, I think
And I've
3.
watched Toy
I think-
Story, Toy Story 3 and 4.
I
So-
think 3 and 4 are my favorites.
Danny, you're basing the ranking for the movies
Sorry,
as
Haley.
being able to be rewatched.
Well,
Is
that's
that
if it's better than the sequel, then I'll rewatch it because I like it. I would enjoy watching it if I watched it again.
so? Would you rather rewatch number 1 or rewatch number 2?
Number 1.
That's kind of how I was learning. So, anyways,
Like,
I'm
nobody-
sorry.
we had watched
Haley
before
is
number one.
yawning. She's literally putting yawning emojis. We're boring. I'm boring them because
They wanna go to
now we're
bed.
just debating Toy Story again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Haley. You know I love to talk.
I have one of my girls named Victoria going. I'm just imagining CJ and his coworker debating the depths of the characters in Forky.
I'm just
Yeah.
imagining that meme of that father and son like arguing, like pointing back and forth, like
Yeah.
throwing the chairs and whatnot.
Yeah,
that
no, he-
motorcycle son.
He was saying I think that the 3 was the best of the 4, and I was saying 4 was, or 1. I like 1 and 4 the best, and so we did have that big debate whilst welding.
So I thought 4 tried too hard in getting the tearjerker moment, and it was just there was no risk at play.
I just love Forky.
Where like it's like, oh, Woody's leaving. Oh no, but he's gonna be with his love. Then you have like 3, all of them holding hands, facing the furnace, and knowing where to die. Buzz being this like really like guy that's knowing like what everyone needs, and just holding whatsoever face's name, his hands, and then everyone kind of realizing what's going on, and then like Woody, who was holding on to the last moment for hope, giving up, was a tear-jerker moment. And it was just, it wasn't trying to be, there's just so much depth into all the characters and what their response in that moment. And then the response in the last one was like, Woody being, bye, and like Buzz like, new beginnings, I guess. I don't know. I don't like 4.
Yeah, I like
Also,
Forky.
everyone's like, Woody's gonna die in 4. I was like, what?
I like Forky.
Forky was a fun character.
Yeah, that's I did not like Forky or whatever his name was. That
I
was
just laughed all the
worse.
time.
I thought they had something that was gonna be very, very interesting for like what's about to happen. Like, how did Forky come to be? I thought they were gonna investigate that, like not like Woody investigated, but like kind of investigate why it happened. But instead, just like, why did Forky happen? Cause
she made him. The kids made him. Her love created him.
then how did all the other toys get alive in the toy store?
Man, okay. Let's not get into Toy Story theology and.
Okay, so yeah, well, so next week we're gonna watch Frozen. Frozen, and it's gonna be interesting. I'll come up with some spiritual undertones. Maybe I'll like it a little better. I don't know.
Frozen.
When I heard the first time, I regretted it. Now I'm really regretting it. But yeah, we will look over Frozen. Watch it with us. Come up with some spiritual undertones. If y'all who are suggesting Frozen, come up with some great
Better.
theological undertones and help me out and send them to us during our live chat. I will stop complaining about the movies you guys suggest because I know you're participating. And right now, I don't have anyone talking about National Treasure. How about you, CJ? Anyone talking about
No.
spiritual undertones, National Treasure? No. You're just listening. See, they're just listeners. They're not interactors.
Yeah.
But in the games, thank you for participating in the games, though.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Now let's up the ante. Participate with us in the movie
discussion.
conversation. Just post a simple one. Doesn't have to be
Frozen.
a paragraph long. Maybe you can write it beforehand and copy and paste it into the comment section during our talk. So that's something that we ask you and to do and to help us with. Please.
Cool.
So give me some spiritual undertones that I can see, and I will come up with some of my own. And you probably won't like them because I don't like this movie. So mine are probably gonna be negative. Yeah, Elsa's a witch. And right here, the fruits of the fruits of the flesh are obviously evident witchcraft. Therefore,
Yeah.
Elsa's evil. Change my mind.
It's an okay movie, man.
All right, so we're gonna have a movie night, and Nick's going to dump water on me apparently.
Keep you awake.
Keep me awake. Anyways, thank you for joining us. It's 8 o'clock, the latest we've ever gone on our live stream. So thanks for holding out. Frozen next week. Make sure you're participating in the comment section. Your name's gonna be added. Also on Instagram, just post a Frozen meme and send it to us to be entered in. Okay, and our Instagrams are looking down
Frozen
below.
memes.
Frozen memes. Any Frozen memes, and make us laugh, make us giggle, make me like the movie. Okay, I'll see you all next week.